not only the wave of the future, it's the right thing to do. At our level, at the NHL level, we try to make things smaller areas. So your skill level in those small areas has to be exceptional. Allows you to contort and handle under pressure. All it is the best kid who can skate the fastest gets the puck, he goes wide, goes down the ice, and everybody just chases him. There's no skill team. It's so we got to park our egos as Canadians, because the rest of the world is way ahead of us. And I think it's great that Hockey Manitoba is mandating it.
We need more offense in the game, so we definitely focus on scoring quite a bit with our team, and we do a lot of small area games.
The game now is quicker and it's condensed. In battles in the corner in front of the net, it's very important to be able to be efficient at that and know how to score too.
You have to be able to make plays in pretty small areas, and the more you practice that, I think the better off you are.
It's a tremendous tool for all coaches at all levels.
When we talk about little children, what type of things are they exposed to? There's usually some scaling process. So, for example, going to school, the furniture is small because the children are small. If you look outside at the bike rack, the bikes are all small because that's who's riding to school. They're not adults. Exactly the same when it comes to sports. Smaller implements, smaller playing surface, lighter equipment, lots of time doing things because there's going to be lots of experimentation. They're learning to do something, and it's only when they start to put things together that they actually start to reach success. Children definitely want to get better. They definitely want to challenge themselves, but it's how do you really capture them so they want to keep trying? It's a challenging yet fun environment.
Get poked out, and then you go get it and do 3 jumps and come back.
The scaling down aspect is vital in that process. The research clearly shows, and every parent should be looking for this, that their children are more actively engaged, which means that they have the puck with them a greater number of times. They have the puck on their stick for a longer period of time. They're interacting with the other players to a greater extent. They're having to make more decisions. They're having to control their bodily motion. In other words, all those facets of skating are so important. So the whole milieu of key performance indicators is raised.
Maybe we should call this the flower skate, and I like it as a spider skate. Come on back, go back around. Go, Jacob, go, Jacob. The thing is you got to get down to their level, have some fun with them, be willing to be a little bit silly, come up with some creative names, the dinosaur chase, the spider game, Superman slides, Supergirl slides. Those are all terrific ways to engage the kids, keep them entertained, and keep them active for a good hour.
So really age appropriateness comes back to making sure that we're building the basics. We give to children time and the amount of contact, time on task, if you like, to make sure they have a chance of getting better.
Whether it's the coach or the parent in the stands, but really the most important thing is that everyone needs to remember why they're there, and that's to be part of participation, having some fun, being active, being healthy, and hopefully they're at the rink, but they're also outside doing other activities and other sports as well.
So many more passes. The puck is always around you, so you're always in the game.
I really like being on the small ice, especially when they split it. You get to touch the puck more, you get to use your feet, and you got to work to get open ice.
There's no standing around. Lots of quick turns, lots of stops and starts, which are all part of skill development.
If you're a parent and you're putting your kid into novice hockey and coaches are starting to work on these things, I would say that they're trending in the right direction.
Kids will never be out of the game. They'll always be close to the puck. And so consequently, I think, they'll enjoy the game much more as well.
When you think about the National Hockey League, at the best league, some of the guys hardly touch the puck. They don't have it on their stick forever. That's why you need all these games and touches so you can advance your skill. I think it's the greatest thing going. If you think of our guy, Austin Matthews, that's how he developed his game totally.
This isn't something that's a guess. This is a bright group of people that have a wealth of knowledge in childhood development, exercise physiology, the sport of hockey itself, that have come together to try to create a comprehensive model that our kids can participate in.
The ADM is not a mandate. It's a set of guidelines put forth by USA Hockey to help clubs and associations be better at what they do with their kids. It's easy to convince the people at the top end, the people with a vast amount of hockey experience, college head coaches, NHL people, that this is a great thing. And it just shows in the quality of people that have been able to say, you know what, I've made a decision that I'm not going to coach just my hockey team. I'm going to try and help American hockey be better.
You know, we need to start focusing on the kid and what's good for them, as opposed to getting them into a sport and trying to grind them into the ground and create the next superstar. Let kids be kids, let them have fun at what they're doing, and that's what this is. It's an age-appropriate development program for children.
We need to change the mindset of our coaches, our administrators, and our parents, and they need to understand that it's not just my team has practice today, because that's very inefficient. If we're putting 14, 15 kids on one ice surface when they're 8 years old, then we're not maximizing, one, the benefits for the kids and the cost effectiveness for the association, that allocation of resources.
And we were lucky to have Little Caesars provide their AU Mite team. And what we did is we put them through an exercise of cross ice hockey, half ice hockey, and full ice hockey.
The kids will be wearing the same technology and being tracked the same way the National Hockey League tracks the NHL players. And it's in terms of puck touches, shift lengths, and really the exercise today is to show what the right sizing of the rink means with those metrics.
Each player has a unique ID number on their RFID sticker, so we know who's coming on the ice, who's coming off the ice instantly. This is the first time that we actually are using our technology in an amateur game, so this is kind of exciting.
When the cross ice game, what I saw was a lot of body contact.
Well, it's not as big and you have to work in more tight spaces, and it's a little bit harder because everybody gets on you quicker.
During the cross ice game, I stick handle through people and I shot top shelf and scored.
I got to touch the puck more in cross ice.
When I stepped onto this ice surface, I kind of was looking down and trying to figure out where it started and stopped.
It's the view of what ice was like when we were kids. You know, this is what it was like, and you forget that when you get older.
Looking out at this as a kid, it would be overwhelming. Just wondering, if you're going to get up and down the ice surface.
We thought this was for a completely different sport.
It almost looked like a joke. You see the giant nets and everything. There's no way we're playing full ice on this.
Am I going to play on this? Oh, jeez. No.
Is a big net. I mean, the goalie's like, he's standing up and it's above his head. I'm like, it was crazy.
There's so much room on the ice that you end up spending a lot of time in open space and you're not touching the puck.
And we realized how bunched up we were, spread out and used the ice, but then you weren't part of the play. You were so far out of it.
And a lot of chasing and just not much contact.
If you're out of position once, you're not going to get back in it. You're done for the play. So, it's very unforgiving.
If you're caught out of position on this thing, oof. With a big sheet of ice, there's a lot of one-on-one type play. So if you can beat one guy, the other team's so far away they can't even catch you.
If you're a defenseman and you're beat, you're just going to probably more or less tend to give up.
On the long passes, the passes are so long that they're easy to intercept.
It's hard to communicate because everybody's spread out so far. Thanks, guys, for the worst skate of my life. If I was just a little guy, I want to play in as small of ice as possible.
There's too much time between the action.
I think for kids with their attention spans, it makes it even more difficult because they lose interest if they're not involved in the play.
Anybody that would experience it for the first time would not be able to pick up the style of play, how to be in position. It would be way too difficult. There's way too much area to cover. It's a little less thrilling, a little less exciting. Just the way you play out here, it's nothing like that you'd play in real life. The surface is way too big to learn on.